Welcome to my channel. In this video I want to show you my two new books by Emmanuelle Colin. If you follow my channel, you may notice that recently during last months I started to color her pictures quite actively. The fun thing is that I received her first and second books maybe 2, maybe 3 years ago as a present. I immediately noticed how high is the quality of this book. Very thick paper, interesting texture of paper, but I was slightly puzzled by her style. I didn't know how I want to color her baby girls, and I decided that maybe these books, they have to wait. But recently, when I decided that I want to color more with water-soluble art supplies, when I want to color more with watercolor, some flowers, botanical illustrations, I realized that maybe it's time of Emmanuelle Colin pictures. So for now, I have already plenty of finished pictures in the first book. I experimented with art supplies, as I said, mostly watercolor background. I also tried to use various pencils brands from more traditional like Derwent drawings, Prismacolors, polychromoses, but I also used my Japanese Irojitens, my Czech pencils, Kohinoor polycolors. Well, so for me it's a very experimental book, and I promised myself that I will finish Coloriage Wild because right now I have a good progress. I think that I need to finish maybe 5 pictures here, and then I planned to start working with Coloriage Wild number 2. But as usual, our promises, they usually can be slightly changed when we have a chance to get a new coloring book. So of course I plan to finish this one. I plan to color in Coloriage Wild, but when I saw her later books, I absolutely fall in love. So let me show you Coloriage Wild number 6, number 7. Possibly they are not the last editions. I think that she published more, but that's what I found in the store, and there was also, I think, the third book, but I decided that I want those two most of all. The quality is the same. If you are not familiar, here we have 14 pictures to color and we have 2 sets of pictures. It actually quite helpful. When I did couple of watercolor experiments in Coloriage Wild number 1, and I hadn't adjusted yet to the paper. My background didn't look like I wanted it, so it was quite convenient to have a second copy. I corrected my mistakes, I applied more intense watercolor layers, and I did background exactly like I wanted. So in these books, I think that to have 2 sets, it's quite nice. Or you can share them with your friends. I hope that paper is the same because definitely the publisher is the same. We have quite thick paper, you can see it here, and paper also has texture. That's what is still puzzling me. I can't say what brand of pencils is the best to color skin. With flowers, with background, no problems at all. But when I color skin, for me, the best result I can get when I combine softer and harder pencils. There are still portraits, maybe like this one, where I used very creamy pencils like Derwent drawings and Prismacolors, and I can still see not very smooth areas where I can burnish more. So for me the best technique is either to use very soft pencils like Prismacolors, Derwent drawings, and then on top I need kind of burnisher, because I really love when skin looks very smooth. So on top of soft pencils I use burnisher, or I can do skin with slightly harder pencils like I did here, and then in the end I select one softer pencil again to blend everything. I think that this one I did with polycolors, and then in the end I slightly blended with Derwent drawing. I combine oil-based, wax-based pencils, and in such way I can get a result which I am quite happy with. So I think that quality will be the same, and now let me show you pictures. I will start from the 7th book because my favorite is the 6th. That's, in my opinion, the best. So we will start from this one. This one also is quite beautiful, and mostly I am happy that in her latest books Emmanuelle Colin slightly changed style of the faces and age of the girls. For me, girls in the first books, they were, well, a little bit too small and a little bit too nude. Slightly pornographic, sorry guys, slightly pedophilic. So I think that every time when I started to color her pictures, my main idea was how to put clothes on the girls. Finally, we have slightly different style of pictures, and apart from beautiful flowers which we were able to find in her first books, here we have also birds, animals, insects. That was one of the pictures which immediately attracted me because I also really want to color such bird and very beautiful chrysanthemum flower. You can see that here we have a very delicate grayscale shading. It looks like the initial art probably was made with watercolor, at least that's what I can imagine from those very soft shadows. I am sure that it will help a lot when you color with pencils to have such light shading, and in the same time, because it's very pale, it won't look dirty. Exactly kind of shading which I prefer. Look at this beauty. I usually limit the background until this line using masking tape. I do background with watercolors, and I intend to continue doing it in this book also. Look again at this beauty. I think that I selected this book mostly because of those beautiful birds. Very lovely, very tender. I love that we have different faces on the girls. It's not like just one face decorated with different flowers, different hairstyle. No, you can clearly see that all is real human artwork, and it's very nice. And at the same time, they look quite simple, not very overwhelming because of the size of the book, or maybe size of the face. I think that it's not frightening to do such portraits, or maybe again because you have two copies, so you have a second chance if you want to change something, if you want to experiment, you have such possibility in these books. That's picture from the cover. Another beauty is hummingbird. And here starts the second set of pages. That was book number 7. And now my favorite book number 6. I would say that even the cover is very inspiring, very beautiful. When I saw it, I immediately realized that I want to add it to my collection, and it doesn't matter that I still have Coloriage Wild number 2 completely untouched. I will color all of them, I promise. So here we have fishes, we have other underwater creatures, This book will be perfect for coloring during mermaid, because all of these girls, they can be turned into mermaids. I think that it's also possible to experiment with different skin colors, maybe something greenish, bluish, or soft violet. Why not? All creatures are very nicely depicted, very realistic. I love to color shells, so it also was additional plus why I decided that I need this book. Look at this beauty. You can feel the water movement even without background, so I think that it's very nicely depicted. It will be fun to imagine hair color, maybe matching color of the fishes. So really very nice. And this one is definitely one of my favorites, simply because I love these tropical fishes and I want to color them. Another beauty. Look at her face. She is so nice. Guys, this sound is air raid siren, so I think that we will finish. Just a second to show you the final pictures, and then I need to go to the shelter. So we have octopus, and here starts second set of pictures. I can recommend this book with all my heart. I will continue my experiments. I think that for my next pictures I want to use more of water-soluble pencils, because I own Mondeluz, I own Inktense, and I think that they will be quite helpful here. If you have Polychromos Albrecht Dürer, they also will be great for this paper. So I hope that my colorings in Coloriage Wild books by Emmanuelle Colin will continue. I of course intend to finish the first book, and then I will start something from my next 3 books. Thank you for watching, and until my next videos.